Hey guys, I'm here today with my review on 7 Billion Needles by Nobuaki Tadano, a four-volume series which I just recently finished. Short and sweet, it looks very nice on the shelf. Basically, what it's about, it's a story loosely based on an author called Hal Clement, who wrote a book called Needle in the 1950s, a science fiction novel. And I'm not sure if it's loosely based or directly based off of that, but from reading this, it's actually made me want to read the original. It's about a high school girl called Hikaru Tagabe, who's a recluse. She just listens to music on her headphones all the time. She doesn't have any friends. Out of the blue, an asteroid comes hurtling down to Earth, completely destroying her body, as you can see on the front cover there. And inside the asteroid was like a sentient energy, an extraterrestrial conscience that basically merges with her body, rebuilds her body. It's not evil. It's come here in search of an intergalactic murderer that basically serves to destroy all sentient life. And he's kind of the opposite of that. He's got basically the alien's called Horizon. He's got like moral codes to not affect any sort of sentient life at all. So that's why he rebuilds her body after he accidentally kills Hikaru. He rebuilds her body, and basically she becomes his host, and he becomes like her second conscience, so he can speak to her directly in her mind. So this is much to her despair because she doesn't want anything to do with anything that's going on. She's not bothered about what's going on. So that's what's really different about her character. She's like a reluctant hero. She doesn't take it, on the chin. She just wants everything to just stop. So the first volume is basically like her and Horizon's relationship developing, and Horizon understanding her and her emotions, and her trying to basically cope and come to terms with what's happening around her. Because the intergalactic murderer that Horizon's in search for, Maelstrom. Maelstrom's plan is to slowly wipe out the human race. As you can see on the second cover, that's his sort of power. He like biologically fuses with a host to basically take over the person's consciousness and use their body as a weapon to kill other people. As you can see again here, in the third volume. I don't want to give away any plot points or anything. I don't want to tell you like who these characters are or anything, because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who's wanting to read this series. I would just say that I highly recommend you buy this if you're into science fiction / horror / school life, slice of life sort of thing. It is just phenomenal from the first volume to the final volume. One thing is, what's really good as well is because the whole series is plot driven, but in the second volume, it kind of takes a step away from the main story and delves into Hikaru Takabe, her past, and why she's so reclusive and introverted in the way she is, which is really nice because it gives the reader more of an understanding, and it makes her more relatable as a person. And it kind of prepares her for the action and all the stuff that happens in the next two volumes, because I have to say that the ending was very, very climatic. I'd expected a lot from the ending, from how good the first, second, and third volume was, so I was almost hoping that it wasn't going to be an ending where that there's no loose ends tied up. It just ends abruptly, and it kind of leaves things open to personal interpretation, where or what ifs or anything like that. It didn't have anything like that. Everything's nicely tied up, and it really all around is just a brilliant series. I mean, considering how short it is, you could pretty much blast through the whole series in one day. One thing to note about the art style of 7 Billion Needles is that it seems very shonen-esque. It's very light-hearted art style, quite similar to what you see in like other shonen series, more popular series. But it's a nice contrast because it's got this light-hearted feel to it, but yet it's a very mature manga. It's aimed at a higher age demographic, so there's quite a lot of violence and swearing and stuff here and there, and quite graphic scenes that could actually frighten any child reading this. Just the general theme of the series, it's definitely aimed at a higher age audience. But yeah, to any prospective readers, or fans of manga in general wanting to read this series, I mean, look, the artwork is just fantastic, especially the colour pages. It really is just a marvel to read. And even though the artwork is very light-hearted, it's still got this sense of depth and almost like a juxtaposition between realism and shonen feel. It's really, really nice. So I highly recommend picking up this series if you want to try out something different. And I feel you'll really, really enjoy it as much as I did. The artwork is just beautiful. So yeah, that's my review of 7 Billion Needles by Nobuaki Tadano. If you've got any recommendations for me to read, by all means post them in the comments section below. I'm going to be doing a few more reviews on things that I read once I finish them, so stay tuned and I'll keep you posted. Thank you very much. Goodbye.